Good morning, good morning, good morning. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Baltimore Spotlight. And y'all, I got a good one in the house, y'all. I got a good one, but check this out. Everybody from Baltimore that I bring on here is a good one. But it's family, y'all. This way back, day back. This a day one. I'm just trying to tell y'all. So I'm gonna have him to say something too. And I know he wasn't even ready for all this or whatever, but I got to bring my brother on. And I always tell this story about him, right? I talk about how I gave him the blues when I was in his production. I gave him the blues, but it was only because I loved him and I knew he was going to love me back. What's up, Howard G?
Kiss my bumper. Just kiss it. That's all I can say.
Exactly. That's exactly what I wanted you to say. That's what I'm talking about. We was right there. Howard.
What's
Howard.
up, Renee?
Man, everything. Listen. I've told you this, and every time I get a chance to do it, I'm going to do it because I think that we should give people their flowers while they can still smell them.
That's right.
Howard, thank you for being the catalyst, for being the start of my baby girl career. I will
Oh wow.
never, I'm telling you, listen, I like to pay homage, right? If it were
Uh,
not for you, she wouldn't have been on Disney or Nickelodeon or in New York or any of that stuff. None of that stuff would have been if it were not for you. So I want to publicly thank you every time I get a chance to. You understand what I'm saying? So please
yeah,
receive
definitely.
my
I appreciate it.
flowers.
And all I did was plant the seeds. I saw her talent, and when you told me that she helped you with your lines when you was doing my plays, I said, "How she know your lines?" She said, "Yeah, she know my lines and other people's lines." I said, "Get out of here!" And you told me how she was 5. How old was she when she was doing it? 4 or
Man, you
5?
funny. You hilarious. She was 8 though, Howard. She was
Oh,
little,
she was
but
8.
she was
Okay.
8.
Okay, she was 8. I thought she was younger than that. But it was still, for her to know everybody's lines like that at that age, that was amazing to me. And so we tried her out as Sydney, and my
Yeah.
play never could have made it.
Yeah.
And we did an awesome run with that. I mean, shoot, we took that play. I'm in
Yes.
D.C., Baltimore, Virginia. That thing was running
We
from
did.
2008. I just put it down because I did Sanford and Son. I just put it down 2017, and I started writing
This
Sanford and Son.
this the crazy thing though, Howard. At the time that you casted me, it was for like a younger part. I was rocking. I know I probably was about 35 playing like a what 20-year old or something. I'm
Right.
like, but I pulled it. I was old, Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Because
and
you
it's
played hold on, what you play? You had a couple parts in my play.
I did. I was the girlfriend to I can't even think of my homegirl name, her son, and we had fun with that part. Remember I played his girlfriend, but then I also
Uh,
played like a I did something business wise.
well, you did part two. You
Yeah.
was the uh the official head lady who was over top of
Yes. I
Mr.
remember.
Foxworthy Money. So
Yes.
you was like the
Yes.
accountant, and
Yes.
you handled all the business affairs and stuff like that. Because
Absolutely.
what happened was, and let me explain to all the people, when we did Never Could Have Made It Part One, she played a groupie,
I sure
and
did.
it was like a silly character, like a groupie girl, and a punk rock '80s type of character, and
I
it was
still got the
silly.
headband somewhere.
Yeah, and she was a fan of the son
Yeah.
who is the millionaire's son.
Yeah.
Then when we did part two, I need a new character, and that goes to show your range.
Come
And this
on.
person was proper. She was very educated, very like a lawyer type, a judge type.
Yes, I
She
did.
handled all the books. She handled all his affairs, and he couldn't do nothing about your approval. And that's they hired you for it.
Yeah.
So when he lost all his money and then he got his money back, he wanted to make sure he didn't mess his money up again. So he'd hire you to oversee it. That's what it was. You was like an
Yes.
overseer person over his money and stuff. And
Yeah.
that was a different range of characters because you went from a silly, wild and crazy type person to a dignified a professor type woman with the handle of all business affairs and stuff. And
Absolutely.
even still, I wanted to
And it was two different age ranges too, Howard.
Right. And then I wanted the cast to believe that you was the bad person. Remember how
Yep.
I wrote it where they said, that daggone account, she did it. She the
Yep.
one that's doing everything. And
Yep.
they and everybody thought it was you. That's why I wrote that part. Y'all thought it was me, didn't y'all? Everybody's like,
Yep.
yup.
Oh my goodness, that's what I'm talking about. Those were some amazing days and they don't end. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Wasn't just all. I mean, you've done a lot. Like I said, that's why you here. We shining a spotlight on you. But I want to go back for a minute because our stories I got a little bit to add to the story about my daughter because what happened too was one of the rehearsals she was helping somebody with their line. She was like, "That's not the line." And you shouldn't be stage left. You should be center. And you turned around and was like, "Who child is this?" And then
Right. Yeah.
everybody looked at me and I was like, "Oh Lord, like I don't give him enough trouble. Now my daughter gonna come in here." And you was like, "Well,
Right.
come if you know the line, then come up here and do it." And she came up
Yep.
there and did it. And you was like, "Oh wait, I wanted to cast a teenager for this, but I mean, I like her." He was like, "You was like, you got to go get her some headshots and stuff though." And literally, you sent me to Derek, and Derek did. He knew that there was a audition for a Gap commercial, and
Uh-huh.
he videoed her and sent it to New York, and that's when agents start calling her and stuff too, and that's where we started. All because I was giving you the blues, and then my daughter gave you the blues, and then you gave her a shot.
Oh yeah. Oh, Derek. I ain't talked to Derek in a minute
I
too. I need to
know,
holler at him.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
I gotta have him on too, though. But listen, so Howard, this is the crazy thing. Like, I didn't even know. Hold up, how Baltimore? I call it Smaltimore, right? Because here it is. I didn't really know you, and then I forgot who even told me about the audition or anything like that.
I
When
think
we
you
got
saw it online or something. Because
probably,
yeah, because Facebook was out back then. Was Facebook out? Yeah, because Facebook came out in 2005, 2006. So Facebook was out. I think I posted on Facebook because this is you talking 2007 when
yeah.
me and you hooked up and everything. Because I was yeah, because Never Could Have Made It came out 2008. That's
But
when
the
it
crazy
came out.
thing about it, here it is. I'm doing plays with you, like you said, doing the traveling with you with the play, and we get to talking. It never even clicked. Like, duh, your last name's Gaskins, and I'm going, wait a minute, Gaskins. Like, Tammy Gaskins. She was like my relative. I'm like,
Right.
that's my like one of my bestest friend to this day. I'm talking to her about getting her some music on here, but I'm like, we still
Yeah.
talk. I'm like, Howard, that's my girl in them, and you like, that's my
Yeah.
family. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's good stuff right there.
Small world. Small world.
It's a
But
even
y'all was in the military together? How did y'all know each other?
How what the heck? Man, do I look like military material? Dang no, I wasn't. I would never no daggone military. I've been knowing Tammy because she was living on Garrison. And so I love me some Mama Lil. That's a whole nother story. But Mama Lil prayed for me. But no, me and Tammy had knew each other since like elementary, junior high, high school.
Okay, so y'all go way. Okay,
We go
all right.
way back. We only 20, but I'm just saying we go back about 35, 40 years.
Right, right. Still look funny. Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? We capping right there for a minute. That's where we gonna stay.
Yeah.
But Howard, I listen, you have, I think the way I look at it, you have been an open door for so many people though. I mean, and you've made great relationships with the people that you've had in your productions. Shannon was on here. I talked to Candy. In fact, Candy was a blessing to me when I laid my son to rest. Candy actually sang my favorite song. She sang Mary Mary. I cried my last tear. And trust and believe, we already know what Candy do and how she do it. So that was more tears that was cried with her
Right,
being a blessing to to our homegoing service.
right.
And you don't I don't even know if you knew this. You introduced me to my other little sis. We call her Hershey, right? Heather, the
Yes.
amazing makeup artist. But what's so crazy is this, Howard, small Baltimore, right? Small Baltimore. The crazy thing about it, when I met her, and I came at the play and stuff, and we were auditioning and we was doing rehearsals. I looked at her and I was like, her face looks so familiar. Check this out. This is a story you don't know. I was like, her face looks so daggone familiar. Where do I know her face? I said her face is the picture on my husband's pictures in his photo album with her sitting on his lap. So I was like, "Can I talk to you for a minute?" And she was she was like, yeah. No, but mind you, we had already kind of like bonded and stuff like that, right?
Now this is
And
Hershey, right?
yes.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know somebody named blah blah, right? And
Uh,
she was like, oh yeah. I said, yeah, I know. I said you and his picture in his what was the relationship? And she was like looking at me like she was like, that's my big brother. Mm-hmm. Okay, give me
uh-huh.
more. Give me more about the big brother. And she was like, oh my goodness. So when I went back to him, I was like, yeah, so I met and I got the picture. I said, I met her. And he was like, oh, that's my little sister. Where'd you see her at? Da 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 da. And so he started giving me the story. He was like, yeah, he said that girl can blow. He said we used to sing together and everything. And he said I always made sure she was okay. I would never let no guy do nothing to her or mess with her, or anything like that. So then when I came back to rehearsal and stuff, I was like, all right, you cool, we good. It's all good.
Right, right. Okay.
Yes. And to
Yeah,
this
the Candy
day,
Girls. I call them the Candy Girls because Candy came to me first when I was auditioning for as Charlie Hill Turns, my
mhm,
first play, and she came, and then she came one rehearsal, and then she said, "I got some girlfriends that sing." I said, "Really?" I said, "I'm looking for three," and then she brought Hershey, and then she brought it was another girl
I remember
that
the
we
other girl too.
used. Yeah, but the other girl we used, I had already cast her
Yep.
as Rachel's daughter, part of in the play.
Oh my gosh,
And
yes, I forgot. Wait a minute, let's go there. Veronica, like, boom, she was in the place. She went on, winded up on reality TV with her son. So I'm like,
yeah,
man, you had so many people. Like,
well, look at Gabrielle. Gabrielle Dennis started with me and Cheryl Turns. Next thing you know, right before she left to go to L.A.,
mhm,
I brought her pay. She flew out that Monday. I met her at the BWI airport. Gave her money cash in her hand. She flew out. She hooked up. She stayed out in L.A. for a while. She hooked up with Damon Wayans. She was in his little underground sitcom that they had on HBO.
mhm.
Then she hooked up. Next thing you know, she was on a game. She played Boo, the guy, the football player's baby mother. Then she on no, she was on a show with she played his wife. Not what's the boy that Tay Diggs and him? They was all in the
With
men's wet
the wedding
room.
thing, the one because the best,
Yeah,
yeah,
Morris Chestnut. She played
yes.
Morris Chestnut's sister. And that sitcom he had, the sitcom where he fighting crime, where he solving murders and all that stuff. Then she's on now. She's currently on the thing with Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes and
The what's the
the
name with Kim
Upshaws.
Fields?
Upshaw, yeah, Kim Fields.
You know what?
She's the baby mother.
You
She's
know
the
what?
baby mother
And I
on
kept
that.
when I seen that Howard, I'm like, okay, her face looked familiar, but I'm like, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
no,
she started out with me, and then she's the Irish Spring girlfriend with what's called everybody she's with. I know, and I've met them all. I know Wanda Sykes very well, and it's amazing. That's why I said, girl, it's a small circle.
It really, and I say that all the time too. People think like there is Hollywood, and of course there's Black Hollywood, right?
Right,
And it really pays to be authentic, genuine. I don't know the same. That's synonymous, but real, have integrity, have character, because that's what I tell people all the time. It's not really the people that you know, it's the people that you really know, that you have
right,
relationships with, that you really built a foundation with, that really makes a difference. But the wild thing is though, like, I don't know, I'm really glad I got to spotlight you today because again, Howard, you really have had your hand in so many people. And just look, like, not even, it was selfless. It was selfless. Like, you wasn't like, no, you gotta pay me, you gotta get on, you gotta do this. It was just like, hey, listen, I got an opportunity for you. And these are the things and the reasons why I shine lights on people like you in Baltimore, because it's like, this is what our city is about. We have so much talent, and we do help each other. We do look out for each other. Now, let's keep it 100. We look out and we give you this, that, and other. But some people, they kind of might take advantage of a little situation. That is what it is. But you're going to find that in every city, every state. But
right,
you have had your hand on people. I'm like, you down at the comedy club doing your thing, the comedy factory, you in DC. I see you every day going where, Howard.
right. First, I want to give honor to God because I
Amen.
couldn't be doing this
Amen.
without Him. and all I'm doing is planting seeds and then watching the harvest of of people who as they move on and do bigger and better things. Because years ago, somebody gave me an opportunity. Ricky Shackelford, the comedian
Mm-hmm.
in Baltimore, he gave me a chance to express myself through comedy, and a lot of other comedians a chance. Warren Hutchinson, my sister Sheila Gaskins, who I still doing stuff together now because we got a I'm doing Sanford and Son, the stage play. We're
Mm-hmm.
taking that different cities and stuff, just like Never Could Have Made It.
Mm-hmm.
And we just got back from Myrtle Beach, sold out 2 shows down there. Really nice,
Love
had a
it.
good time down there. And so right now I'm working on this Sanford Son play, and just give it, trying to see what I could do with that. And then also too, remember Renee, you also I cast you and that other girl play. Remember that girl that wrote that play about the women, and you
Battle,
played.
battle, somebody battle.
Well, Ursula Battle do her own plays, but I cast you and you played a wife. I think you was battered wife. Was you one of the wives of one
Oh
of the.
my God,
You
Howard.
forgot about
Oh
that play, didn't you?
yes. The guy from Jersey. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yes. Do you know I still
Uh,
keep in touch with Rick down here in Georgia too now, though, my co-star. I'm gonna get him on too. Oh my goodness, what was his name? I see his face. But again, another story you don't know, Howard. I
yeah.
played the battered wife, and that thing was deep. But
Yeah,
Howard,
that play was deep. That
what
wasn't no draw. That wasn't no comedy. She hired me. I told her, I said, Miss, you sure you mean direct this play? I said, I do comedies. I'm not a serious guy. And she said, yes, I wanted you to do it. She said, I don't care. I just got this story got to be told. And I saw your plays in the past. And I said, I want you to direct it. I said, all right. And I remember I casted you. I casted Larry Lancaster was in it.
Yep, yep,
Matter of fact,
yep.
I think Larry was the bad guy. Did Larry play your husband? No,
Yeah, no,
Rick
no,
was your
no. This
husband.
guy named Rick played my husband. And again, another part where the guy was way younger than me. I was about 30 something plus. Again, right? But the thing about that too, and we got to get Larry on here too. I want to shine a spotlight on him as well and his son,
Uh,
right? But let
uh,
me tell you, you didn't even know, and I cannot think of it. I see his face because he's a poet, and he I cannot think his face. But the
uh,
crazy thing about this though, Howard, when you got me that audition and I booked and I did that, I was actually going through a domestic violent relationship.
Get the
I
hell
was
out of here.
married. You didn't know? See, you
No.
Howard, Howard, at the time, this I
I
think
just
this
knew you played that part really well. That's why I was like, dang,
I guess I
you
could,
were
huh?
so convincing. And because the guy, remember, I had to work with him a little bit and bring it out of him. Because he
His
had
name was
told me, he
Rick.
said, Howard, you know, it's not my car. I said, I know you got to dig deep. You got to find it. I know you could do it. But sometimes some
And he
people got
kept
to
telling me, he
find
was
it,
like, man,
find
you
the
keep
people.
press. He kept telling me, he was like, you press me, you make me work. I said, absolutely, you gonna work for this.
Right. Wow. Who
No,
knew
but
that you
see,
was going
wait,
to do it at the same time?
Howard, listen, see, I ain't gonna drop his name until after we get off the call because I don't let everybody know everything all the time. We just got, they got to wait for it. Howard,
Right.
the dude that I was married to was abusing me. This was just before I moved into the house of roof because he almost broke my jaw. But at the time, I was going through it with him, and he used to get mad. I had to take him over the dude house. I can't think of his name, but I had to take him over their house because he was thinking I was having some kind of affair with some dude or whatever. So I introduced him to the guy. We went over his house, and it was the young man and his woman, and my husband at the time came to the show. I mean, came to the rehearsal because he was like, "Yeah, who these niggas?" Da, da, da. And I was like, "I'm in a play. Like this is not like this is." And he was like, "Yeah, whatever." So he finally came to meet them and everything. But it's funny because at the end of the day, when I had conversation with my ex-husband back then at that time, he was like, yeah, because I thought it was some kind of setup. Because listen to this, Howard, you don't know this. He was like, yeah, because that nigga Howard G, like, I know he don't like me. And I was like, why? He was like, because me and his sister was up for a gig and I got the gig and I ain't think she was funny. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have nothing to do with that because I don't know either. I'm like, I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? But yes, I forgot that you was responsible with putting your hands on that as well. That thing was serious. And the thing about it too, if you remember, he had plays going on different floors. I think it was the black, no, not the Black Wax Museum. It was the what
It
was
was
this?
it was the
Art the
Yuri
cultural.
Blake Center.
Yes,
Yuri Blake
yes,
Center.
yes. And he had different like floors.
Lamar Hill.
Lamar, yes, Lamar, 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 yes.
Right.
Absolutely. And look, and I'm telling you, it was funny because when we was over Lamar's house and I told him the story and I told him what I was going through and something, sometimes I would come to rehearsal and I was like, I need a minute to gather myself. And he was like, no, 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 put that in that character. I want that in that character. And when I finally told him what was going on, he was like, sis, I wouldn't even imagine like the person that you are and, even how you present yourself well and all that stuff. I would have never known that this is what you was going through at home. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have been listen to this, Howard. You ain't ready. You ain't ready, Howard. I had been, that same husband had me committed to Shepherd Pratt doing the play rehearsals. That same
Uh,
husband had moved out and took all of my furniture and lived and went and moved with his ex. And I mean, not moved with his ex, but got himself his own apartment and was still messing with his ex. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to call her name, but everybody from Baltimore know about Baltimore Fashion Week, but that's a whole nother story. That might be a whole nother show. You might have to go on Patreon to get that. But yeah, so I mean, I was homeless at that time for half a second, not really, I'm between places. It was a lot going on. And you know what? I understand how sometimes characters, or we see these phenomenal actors and stuff, and you like, dag, and you hear their interviews, and they like, no, like I had to like Taraji. She always, I embodied that character because it is what I was going through, or this is what I've experienced. So they was able to bring that to their craft and to their art. Yep. I knew you weren't ready for all that. I knew you
I
were
was absorbing it. That's all.
huh?
I just didn't know.
Nope.
I just knew you played that character very well, and I was like, wow, you couldn't, because when you know somebody's doing a good job, when you can't keep their eyes off of them,
Yeah.
and you see them on stage, you only see them on stage. That's when you know a person got a character very down pat. Because if you can't picture nobody else around them but just them, they pretty much got it. Yeah, Lamar, he's a good friend of mine. He helped me get through a lot of stuff too. I played a pastor in his play
Hmm.
called "The Power, Passion, the Pulpit,"
I
and
remember that.
I was a corrupt pastor
Yep.
and
Remember.
played that part. And I had to dig deep to find that character because this man abused women. He said nasty stuff to his wife. He hits her. He did everything. And
That's the furthest thing
he,
from your
he had a
like who you are.
whoremother, one of the
Yeah.
churches. And he
Yep.
treat women like cattle. He would have sex with them and stuff. And then if they get pregnant, he sent them off to another state
Yep.
to
Oh
live and
man.
all that stuff. So yeah, that was
Mm.
some good grit acting back then. Good
It
writing
really
skill.
was. Oh my gosh, definitely good writing. I mean, because sometimes you can even though there were phenomenal actors in all of these productions, if you have a good storyline, if you have good writers, you might even have like bomb like not too good actors or actresses, but if that writing is powerful, it makes a difference. Now, the on the flip side, you can have amazing, and I know you probably know this, you can have an amazing A-listers and a crazy script and you like what was they just needed a paycheck or like why did they do this, you see what I'm saying? But no, definitely phenomenal writers. Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Absolutely.
like I said, now I'm working on Sanford Son and
Well, listen, I
hopefully
don't
I
know.
might
You gonna have to bring it. You gonna have to bring it down here south, and I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do Wanda and be like, "You fish shy fool."
you mean Esther.
Esther, yeah, 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 yeah. You fish shy fool, Fred. My sister didn't even love your stupid tail. That's
Yeah.
right. You'd be like, listen, the grading and everything. Fred, you ain't gotta listen to that. She's stupid. Oh my goodness, man. I love that. That's nostalgic. I can't wait to hear or see that or be a part of that. Y'all heard it first. I'm just saying
Mhm.
exclusive, exclusive.
Right. Now how this is a live radio show that we're doing now?
It's gonna be live when they hear you talking, Howard.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. I was just curious. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Yes, our daily morning shows are daily morning shows. So we just letting them in on our conversation. And on every Monday, this is the thing though. So round up your troops, get them to me. I think I still have Larry's number though. But every Monday, our show runs from 7 to 9. That's our Unbox Daily Morning Show. And I'm not really coming for nobody, but I'm looking to continuously keep on going because we're gonna be right next to Steve. We're gonna be right next to what is it, Breakfast Club. We're gonna be right next to everybody gonna know about Unboxing Daily Morning Show. So, but every Monday. is our Baltimore spotlight, because one of the things that I said I'm doing and I'm going to always do, I'm going to shine a light on the place that made me. God created me, but them streets of Baltimore created me. They created the person that I am, and it's all the positive things. In LA, people would always be like, "Oh my gosh, where you from?" And then they would say like, "What, you from New York?" And I'm like, "I'm not from New York." If they didn't say I was from New York, they'd be like, "Oh my goodness, you sound like Jess Hilarious." I'm like, "Jess Hilarious is younger than me. She sounds like me." But at any rate, I'm like, no, I'm from Baltimore." And they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "I'm well." And that's when it really hit me though. It was just like, wait, I am the face of Baltimore. I am the character of Baltimore. It's no matter what we see or what we hear, it is so much amazingness about my city. And it's my whole, till I close my eyes, I'm always going to shine the spotlight on what's positive. But I'm not going to lie about or act like we don't have the Freddie Grays or the Wires and all of that stuff. But that's not what our city is about. It's people like you, Howard. That is what our city is about. It's people like me, Howard. It's people like Hershey and Candy, and Larry, and and the people that I have on the show. That's what the city really is about. That part, and that's it. So
That's it.
that's it. So listen, you got to come back. I had to shine a
Oh
light
yeah.
on you. I wanted to thank you for, even letting people in on our conversation and taking me back down memory lane with some of the things that didn't happen and stuff. Like, I forgot about, that's crazy. I forgot about that production. But I just want to thank you for your call and your time. Listen, many blessings to everything that you're doing. Keep me in the loop, because I still want to be a part. We family, and that's just how it is. And so this was the time to give you your flowers and to shine the light on you. Y'all know what this is. Y'all know what it was. It was Baltimore Spotlight with Howard G. Up next, we have Fact of the Matter with Tony Roberts and some more good music. You are listening to D.O.D. Radio. Best self, best life, best radio. That part, and say that.